whose shall those things be which thou hast provided? So is he that layeth up treasure for himself and is not rich toward God. Turn to your neighbor. And we're still dealing with the danger of self-glorification. But turn to your neighbor and say, neighbor, whatever you do, don't be a fool.
Don't be a fool.
You may be seated in the Lord.
I know that's right.
Don't. Tell them one more time. Neighbor.
Whatever you do.
So y'all ain't saying it right.
Whatever you do.
Don't be a fool.
Be a fool. Amen.
The essence for many people today is to be rich, to be successful. And it's not hard at all for a person to come to this. It's not really a challenge for a person living today in times like these to slip into this mindset or to have or embrace these particular aspirations. After all, we live in a very materialistic society where we are constantly hearing that bigger is better. Get rich.
All right.
Or die trying. Get all you can while you can. Show me the money. That's right. Help me, Brother David. That's a good trustee. The ends justifies the means. And we have messed around and even allowed this same message to creep, to infiltrate, to find its way into the church. And that now we have preachers that are taking part in spreading what I consider to be a perverted gospel. Where they tell folk that God's love for you is evidenced by the things that you have. That is a perverted gospel. But let me help those of you that are in this church today. God's love for us is evidenced in the fact that he sent his only begotten Son. His love is proven in the fact that he gave to us. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believes in him shall not perish, but have, come on, help me here, everlasting life. He loved me, so he gave. He gave that I might have. Let me teach you something concerning love. Church, when you love somebody, you give so that they might have. When you love somebody, you'll sacrifice so that they might have. When you love somebody, you will give up something so that they might have. When you love somebody, you will do without yourself so that somebody that you love might have. You deny yourself so that somebody might have. Bigger is better. That's what we're hearing. Get rich or die trying. Get all you can while you can. Money coming to me now. Here in our text this morning, Jesus is using this parable to warn his hearers against the dangers of greed and the danger of having or developing a confidence in the things of the world. Amen. What a relevant message. A relevant message then and a relevant message right now. That's right. The story goes, the ground of a certain man brought forth plentifully. This is a rich farmer. He had a great deal of land that this particular year produced an abundant crop. His ground, his land was fruitful. This rich man was blessed. That doesn't say that he was a saved man, but it says a rich man. And this rich man was blessed. Remember something about God. God will rain on the just as well as the unjust. And then when God rains down blessings upon men, some see it as just that. That's right. While for some, the blessings of God is a snare to them. Some are blessed and they know that they're blessed. But some are blessed and they get caught up in the blessing and not in the blesser. So we find this man here in this parable. He finds himself facing a dilemma. He has so much stuff that he doesn't know what to do with. Now, how many of us are honest enough to admit this morning that we have more than we need? Oh, don't shut down on me now. How many of us had to go to our closet this morning and decide what you were going to wear? How many had to look at your shoes and determine which shoes went with this suit? See, I can't get nobody to talk now. Right. This is Black History Month. There was a time when our forefathers, our ancestors, they didn't have to decide what they were going to wear. They already knew what they were going to wear. They were going to wear this Sunday the same thing they wore last Sunday. And next Sunday was going to be the same thing they wore this Sunday. But how many of us understand that God has blessed us? He's been so good to us that now we have more than enough. He looked at all that he had been blessed with, and he thought to himself, what in the world am I going to do? I'm in a fix. I have, Brother Ford, I have no room to store my fruits. Now I want you to know right here that folly, foolishness, on the part of this man had already set in. I want you to understand something. He ain't tore down nothing yet. He ain't built up anything yet. But I want you to see in this text that he's been a fool right here and now. He hadn't started building. I know it. He hadn't torn down. I know it. But notice what he says. He says, my fruits. He's focusing. Notice how he turns the focus onto himself. He has an extraordinary yield. And instead of thanking God for it, instead of rejoicing in the fact that he's got enough to be a blessing to somebody else, he's about to make himself sick with the thought of what shall I do? I have so much stuff and not enough room. Let me tell somebody something this morning. All that you have, you need to be thanking God for. If God has blessed you with anything, you ought to be praising him and not patting yourself on the back. Right. Not drawing attention to yourself. I know you went to work last week, but if God had not given you the strength to work, what then? I know that you got your degree now, but if God had not made a way, if God hadn't opened up windows when doors were closed in your face, what then? I know you went to work to make your money. And ain't nobody gonna tell you, that preacher ain't gonna tell me what to do with you're saying, I'm saying this. Your money is really his money.
All right.
Tell your neighbor, they gonna look at your money, but tell your neighbor, your money is really his money. Some of y'all can't even bring yourself to school. That might be why you're always struggling. That might be why you're broke right now. You understand that everything you have belongs to God. I know you're mad. I know you're mad. He has so much. This is his dilemma. He got more than he knows what to do with. So he makes a decision. He says, I'm going to tear down these barns because they ain't big enough. And I'm going to build bigger barns. I'm going to build bigger barns, and there I will bestow all my fruits. There he goes again. And my goods. With folk all around him that were in need. With folk all around him. And he having the means to help somebody besides himself. We see him playing the fool. Tell your neighbor, don't be a fool. Look at how he boasts and brags on himself. Look at how he finds comfort in his abundance. I will say to my soul, look at what he says. I will say to my soul, soul, thou hast much good laid up for many years. Take it easy. Eat, drink, and be merry. Everything is cool and copacetic. Kick back, cool out, chill for just a little while. Call your boss and say, hey, I got it going on. Child of God, let me tell you something else. Don't get caught up in what's happening in the world today. Don't get caught up in laying up treasures here on earth. But your treasure should be in heaven. No matter what you start here, the day is gonna come when you have to leave it all behind. What's gonna happen if you spend all your time laying up treasure here on earth, and something happens and you lose your mind? What's gonna happen if you spend all your time laying up treasure here on earth? Wake up one morning and now you can't walk. You can't use your hand. You can't even see. Who's brother Millard? We see in this story a man who is likened unto Nabal. I hope I got a Bible reader in here. Nabal was a man who died while celebrating the abundance of his provision. It was folly. It was foolishness. Carnal people are fools. Carnal people are fools. Folk who are caught up in what the world has to offer are fools. Folk who are caught up with what the world has to offer are fools. I know I'm saying it twice. I know.
All right.
Folk who spend their lives accumulating the temporal are fools. Folk